Imagine traveling deep into a remote desert valley. Mountains rise on the horizon. The air feels dry and silent. At first, the place looks completely ordinary. Rocks scatter across the dusty ground. Sparse plants struggle to survive in the harsh environment. But something strange begins to happen the moment you enter the valley. Your compass begins to spin. The needle refuses to point north. It turns slowly at first, then faster. Eventually, it stops working entirely. Navigation equipment becomes unreliable. Radios begin producing strange static. Signals weaken or disappear. The deeper you travel into the valley, the stranger things become. This mysterious location is known as the Zone of Silence. It lies in the deserts of northern Mexico. For decades, travelers, scientists, and explorers have reported unusual phenomena here. Compasses behave unpredictably. Radio signals fade without explanation. Electronic devices sometimes malfunction. The strange reports began attracting attention many years ago. One of the earliest stories dates back to the 1970s. A rocket launched from the United States unexpectedly fell off course. Instead of landing in its planned test area, it crashed inside this remote desert region. Scientists investigating the crash began noticing unusual things. Radio communication became difficult. Navigation equipment behaved oddly. The instruments did not seem to function normally. Soon, rumors spread about a mysterious area where technology failed. People began calling the place the Zone of Silence. The name quickly captured the imagination of the public. Stories spread rapidly. Some claimed the valley interfered with radio waves. Others believed powerful magnetic forces existed underground. Some even suggested extraterrestrial activity. Over time, the mystery grew larger than the place itself. Travelers began visiting the valley, hoping to experience its strange effects. Some reported hearing unusual sounds. Others claimed their equipment suddenly stopped working. A few described strange lights in the night sky. Scientists eventually began studying the region more seriously. They wanted to understand whether the strange stories were real. One possible explanation involves the geology of the valley. The region contains unusual mineral deposits. Certain rocks can interfere with magnetic fields. Large amounts of magnetite may exist underground. Magnetite is a mineral that strongly affects magnetic instruments. If large deposits exist beneath the valley, they could disrupt compasses. Another possible explanation involves radio waves. The valley sits in a basin surrounded by mountains. This geography may interfere with signal transmission. Radio waves sometimes behave unpredictably in complex terrain. Signals can reflect off rock surfaces. They can bend around cliffs. They can weaken in certain atmospheric conditions. To someone using simple equipment, this could appear mysterious. Weather conditions may also play a role. Hot desert air creates strong temperature gradients. These gradients can affect radio propagation. Signals may travel in unusual paths through the atmosphere. In certain cases, they may disappear completely. Despite these explanations, the valley still feels unusual to visitors. Its isolation creates an eerie atmosphere. The desert stretches endlessly across the horizon. Few people live nearby. Silence dominates the landscape. At night, the sky becomes incredibly dark. Stars fill the entire sky above the valley. With no city lights nearby, the stars appear brighter than almost anywhere else. Meteorites have also been discovered in the region. Scientists believe the area contains many fragments from ancient space rocks. Some researchers think the mineral composition of these meteorites may contribute to the unusual magnetic behavior. The desert floor hides many geological surprises. Layers of ancient rock record millions of years of history. This region once lay beneath an ocean. Later, volcanic activity reshaped the landscape. The valley we see today formed through a long and complex geological process. Understanding these processes may help explain the strange phenomena reported here. Still, many visitors leave the valley feeling that something unusual exists. Not something supernatural, but something not fully understood. Sometimes nature creates environments where normal expectations fail. Places where instruments behave differently. Places where natural forces interact in unexpected ways. The zone of silence may be one of those places, a landscape where geology, atmosphere, and magnetism combine to produce unusual effects. Even today, researchers continue studying the region. New instruments measure magnetic fields across the valley. Scientists analyze rock samples. They examine how radio waves behave in the desert environment. Slowly, the mystery becomes clearer. But the fascination remains, because standing in the middle of that silent valley still feels strange. A compass spinning without direction, a radio fading into static, and an endless desert stretching in every direction. A place where navigation seems to fail. A place where the usual rules feel uncertain. A valley where compasses stop working. Even with modern technology, exploring the valley can still be challenging. The desert environment is harsh. Temperatures can rise dramatically during the day. At night, the temperature drops quickly. The land offers little shade or shelter. Travelers must prepare carefully before entering the region. Water becomes the most important resource. The desert can quickly become dangerous without proper supplies. Because of this, only a small number of researchers visit each year. Many scientific teams travel there to study the unusual magnetic readings. They place instruments across different parts of the valley. These devices measure tiny variations in the Earth's magnetic field. The results sometimes show irregular patterns. Certain areas produce stronger magnetic anomalies than others. These variations may explain why compasses behave strangely. If a compass passes directly above a magnetic deposit underground, the needle may shift direction. If multiple magnetic sources exist nearby, the needle may become confused. Instead of pointing north, it may move unpredictably. This could create the impression that the compass has stopped working. Another factor involves human perception. When people expect something mysterious, they may interpret normal events differently. A weak radio signal may feel supernatural. A drifting compass needle may feel impossible. But often the explanation is simply environmental interference. Even so, the valley continues to attract curiosity. Mystery draws people to unusual places. The zone of silence has become one of those locations. Travelers often describe the valley as peaceful. The silence is powerful. Wind moves gently across the desert floor. Distant mountains glow under the desert sun. The landscape feels ancient and untouched. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the most fascinating. Nature can create environments where technology behaves differently. Magnetic minerals, radio interference, atmospheric conditions, all combining in unexpected ways. The result becomes a place that feels mysterious, not because of hidden forces, but because the natural world is complex. Even today, there are places on Earth where science continues searching for answers. The valley in northern Mexico is one of them, a quiet desert landscape, a place where compasses sometimes spin without direction, a place where radio signals fade into silence, and a place where curiosity continues guiding explorers forward. The valley where compasses stop working, a reminder that even familiar tools can fail in unfamiliar landscapes, and that the Earth still contains mysteries waiting to be understood.